Greetings gang, I'm Luke and welcome to Down from the Attic. We're looking down the barrel of a new year, thank God, and I think we can all agree that this year, it's been bloody awful. But it being Christmas time, let's not think about that, let's not talk about that, let's look at some games. And guys, I've got a really good one to show you. I really racked my brains for something that was wintry and cold, and a game that uses actual ice. Well, it kind of ticked the box. We're looking at Cool Runnings from Ravensburger. Let's check this thing out.
Cool Runnings, yeah. No, not that Cool Runnings. This one is an obscure one. I had to order this from Germany. First off, box art. It's bright, it's colourful and cool coloured, and it's made to look like a giant ice cube. Nice work. Contents, and this is where the box falls down for me. There's a lot of filler boxes in here and unused space, and I really don't like this. With a bit of clever design, the shelf space of this could have been a lot smaller. So, what's included? You have these board tiles, the finish line card, a pipette, 8 ice cube trays, 4 ice cube holders, and a deck of cards. But that's not all that you'll need. You'll need water for the ice cubes and obviously a refrigerator, salt, and a towel. Setup, and this is a rare game when you need to plan way ahead when you wish to play this game. You need ice. Your play pieces are made of ice in the game. These blue ice cube trays are what you use to make your ice cubes. The game thankfully provides you with 8, so enough for 2 games. Fill them with water, stick them in the freezer and wait until they're frozen. Once frozen, take your ice cube out, clip your ice cube colour holder on top of the tray and put your ice cube in the holder. This is a pretty neat way of trying to negate the drips of water in the game. The ice cube holder, it will collect all the water in the bottom. It's pretty neat. The game board for this is modular and you can arrange the tiles on the path in any which way you like, with the finish line card at the end. You can also opt to use only a few tiles or use all of them. I really like this and it adds to the replayability. You'll need a small bowl or a ramekin of water with the pipette nearby and a shaker of salt. Everyone starts with their ice at the beginning of the board. Shuffle the cards and deal 4 out to each player, and we're ready to begin.
The aim of the game is very simple. Be the first person across the finish line, or the last man standing. Yes, you can choose to either move or attack your opponents to melt their ice cube with fire breath, salt, water baths, dropping water on them. This game gets vicious.
Playing the game is very easy. You have your cards and your cards have a movement value or an attack. You can choose to play any of your 4 cards, but you have to choose to move or attack. You can't do both. So from the offset, you have 8 options at your disposal. Pretty cool, huh? So you can choose one of your 4 cards and you can choose to move or attack. And movement? You can choose to move any ice cube on the board. That's right, yourself or your opponents. And we'll talk more about this soon. So let's go over the different types of attack. Fire breath. You use your breath on your ice cube for 10 ice cubes. The rest of the players count in 1 ice cube, 2 ice cube, 3 ice cube, 4 ice cube, and so on. Thumb rub. Pretty easy. Pick up your ice cube and rub your warm thumb over it for 10 ice cubes. Handhold. Much the same as the thumb rub. Hold your ice cube in your hand for 10 ice cubes. Guessing game. Your opponent takes your ice cube in their hand, behind their back, and puts it in left or right hand. You have to guess which hand it's in, and if you guess wrong, you keep guessing until you guess right. This can really cause your ice cube to melt quite quickly. Water bath. Empty your ice cube into the bowl of water and use your ice cube holder to scoop it out again. Pipette. Fill the pipette and dribble water onto the top of the ice cube. And the worst of all, salt. Grab the salt shaker, pour some salt into your hand and dump it onto your ice.
So those are the different attacks in the game, but it's not as simple as just slapping a card on someone and saying, take that. Oh, no.
If the attack player has a card in their hand of the same attack, they can deflect the attack onto whoever they choose. They could deflect it onto the person who first attacked then, but they could also attack and involve someone who was completely out of that fight. You can see how this game gets vicious now. When someone can't deflect the attack is performed and everyone draws back up to 4 cards. As mentioned, you can opt to move rather than attack, and you can choose to move any opponent's ice cube on the board. The board has some interesting places on it. So some of the squares have additional movement values, move +2, go back 2, etc. The squares on the board with the ice on them, if you move on them, you are impervious to attack. No attack can harm you, which is great, but remember that your opponents can move you off these spots should they wish to. Lava spots, however, these are really mean. Landing on a lava spot means you're attacked, and this time you cannot block the attack. The top card from the deck is turned over and the attack is performed. This is a really mean way of melting your opponent's ice cubes in a way that they cannot protect themselves at all, and I love doing this. As the game progresses, you'll be moving yourself forward, moving opponents back, attacking and being attacked, being moved onto unblockable spaces and trying to protect yourself. With every attack, your ice is melting, and just with the passage of time too. If your ice totally melts or it falls through the gap in your ice holder, you are out of the game. Even with the tiniest shred of ice left, you cling on to trying to win or trying to get to the finish. It's a mad scramble for the win in this game. If you manage to make it over the finish line, or if you're the last one standing when all your opponents have melted, you win the game.
So, final thoughts on Cool Runnings? For those of you that know me, the level of vindictiveness and backstabbing in this game, I absolutely love it. There's just the right amount of being a complete jerk to your opponents, but keeping it funny and very entertaining. It's a lot of fun, this game. The mechanic of being able to deflect attacks right back onto your opponents and similarly have them do it to you, it keeps it random and interesting. You never know if an attack's going to ping off to the person next to you or to the person you wanted it to land onto. It's a bit of a gamble, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really surprised that a game like this has taken so long to come around again. A game that uses ice as your play pieces that you get to melt over the course of the game, that's genius.
There is the potential for ganging up on one person in this game that, yes, it's happened and it can be a touch unfair in that regard, but that's people playing the game, not down to the game being broken in and of itself. The board being modular allows for custom tracks, shorter and longer routes for playing with kids. It's a really nice touch, and these are plastic, they're not going to get water damaged.
My complaints with this game are few and minor.
Naturally, with any game that involves water, water will get everywhere with this game. It's a good idea to periodically tip your melted water out of your ice cube holder to avoid spilling on the table. You handle the ice cubes a lot in this game, so some water on the table is almost inevitable. It's really handy to keep a towel nearby. Whilst the board pieces are plastic, the cards are not, and I would strongly advise laminating or sleeving them. A few of mine are already bent and warped from water damage. They really should have been plastic dipped, to be fair.
My other complaint is aimed squarely at Ravensburger themselves. I had to order this game from Germany, and that's because this game never got a UK release, and I really don't understand why. The instructions are even printed in English. This game is superb. Cool Runnings is a fantastic modern day reimagining of the classic Milton Bradley game Ice Cube, and a much, much cheaper alternative. This game perfectly straddles the line between party game and board game, and I've had many, many fun nights with it. And when you finish with the ice, drop it in your drink. So all those watching, have a fantastic Christmas. All the very best for 2021, and as always, I'm Luke. Thanks again for watching. and I'll talk to you again soon.